Guys, over here, and today I will be reviewing Volume 3, Episode 12, RWBY, and we're almost at an end. One more episode. It's sad to know that the volume's already coming to an end. But it's been a great volume, and one day before I want to, well, like two things. One thing I want to say before we get into the review is that I will be doing a episode 13 review, and then after that I'm going to do a review of the entire volume, like what I personally thought of it, and just like things I enjoyed, and yeah, so just something I wanted to do. So to get on with the video, so without any further interruptions, let's just get on with it. Oh wow, I just slapped. I just did the slap. It's not how I want to start a review, but this is the end of an era. I really wanted to say that. I don't know how I feel about Adam's death. I don't know if he's dead. He did get stabbed twice. It looked pretty fatal, so I'm gonna assume he's dead. He looks dead, okay? That my thoughts on him being dead, it's finally happened. It's the end to this character. We got to see how he evolved from me for Solomon until now. He was kind of the crazy possessive ex-boyfriend kind of vibe we got from him. I kind of wish they would have went further with his character. I don't think I watched his character short. So I'm going and talking about this without knowing it. But I think I started to watch it and then I didn't finish it. But Adam, so far, I always kind of liked his character. I liked him to be an antagonist. I liked him to be an antagonist for Blake and Yang. This one giant obstacle that keeps just looming over them. For Yang, it was after Volume 3 when he chopped off her arm. For Blake, it's been from the start of the show. And finally, 6 volumes later, he is dead. He's going... I think for Blake, it hurt more to kill him than it did anything else he did to her. I'm about to get into the whole thing how... I want to say, Ruby, you're awesome. I love you. I love you when you jump to the cannon, Scarecrow half to death. I really do want to talk about Crow and Ruby in this review because there have been hints. This is my second time. I watched this episode twice already, and so with that, it's with what had just happened with the whole Blake and Adam thing is over. It's gone on for like 3 episodes now. This was the 3rd episode. I don't really want to say this is the end to Adam. Adam is going to be left there and knowing like he's physically dead. But he's done something to Blake that she can't really get rid of. Now his blood is on her hands. I think that's the one thing she never wanted to do. I feel like Blake felt like there could have been another way for Adam. We could have dealt with this differently. But knowing, I can see Yang and Blake talking about what happened probably next chapter, even in Volume 7. And I know Blake's going to say there was nothing else you can do, this was the only way, and she knows that Blake wished that it was different, things were different, things didn't need to end up with someone dying. It's one of those situations where you didn't want it to end the way it did. But you couldn't really do anything to stop it the way it ended. Adam's character, I really thought he was just this really evil, horrible person. He still was to Blake. But in a way, I feel they could have done more with it. Maybe they might bring him back alive and just torture Blake and Yang's characters some more. I will say, everyone says he's pretty much dead. What I've seen and people have been talking about him, and now that he's dead, it's just maybe this is just it to his character. He was created, and he's really some. Blake will never forget Adam, and who knows what he did to her before Ruby. We all know Adam did horrible things. He and Blake was involved in them, so she would know, and she knew how he is, and she said he loved to belittle you. So it's more of Adam felt more superior to a lot of other people, and I think the relationship Blake and Adam had was very toxic, very, you could probably go the lines of in a way abusive. But I'm not gonna go there because we haven't seen anything. If you watch the Black trailer before RWBY premiered, back when we first started, you got to see Adam and Blake and pretty much why she left him. She was tired of living that life. She realized what he was doing was horrible. She didn't want to be like him. There's a lot of reasons she left. And Adam likes to call Blake a coward. It's a theme. Blake, you could say she's almost done things that seem cowardly, but do you really think she is a coward? I think Blake stood with Adam for so long, she finally realized she just didn't know how she was going to leave him. And what she did to Adam, her running all the time, was a cowardly move and act. But that's the only thing Blake knew ever how to do was run. And remember, you taught her this, Adam. I think Blake being a fondness, it really just shows a reason why she ran from everything. From who she was, from the people who cared about her, it was just in her nature. It's just how events happened, and she felt like it was just the way when she was with the White Fang, she was with, it was just a lot of things came into it. And you could say Blake could be wrong for ditching people, for running away from her problems, but she finally faced the one problem who caused other problems. This problem being gone, which is Adam, doesn't mean he went away. He did permanent damage. And he did some damage on Yang, I will say. But Blake's the main person. And Blake, this is the first time, or if I just haven't caught it before, she's actually gotten really upset or cried in the show. And that shows vulnerability, and she just breaks at that moment. It's a moment. Okay, who else wanted Blake and Yang to kiss in that moment? Please. Can we just make Bumblebee confirmed already? Can it just be canon? We all know it's there. It's like Ren and Nora. It's like, it's one of those ships. We all know it's going to become canon. They just won't do it. So, yeah. And then Blake and Yang shared a moment. That is probably my favorite scene in the entire episode. It showed Blake's vulnerability. It showed her pain. It showed she felt horrible for everything that has happened. And Yang made the comfort and tell her she knows she won't leave her again. Or ever. And that promise Blake made to Yang is that she wouldn't leave her or leave her team again. She really means it. It's not the time she promised Adam I would stay with you. Blake was younger when she made that promise to Adam. She didn't know what would happen in the future. But Blake's older now. She learned from her lessons. And she knows she wants to stay. And because what has happened. I want to talk about Yang for a second. I really do enjoy this side of Yang I'm seeing. Before we saw Yang, the way she was back in volumes 1 through 3. To see her in this state of she learned, she's experienced a lot of things, not bad things that have happened to Yang, and she experienced, she's kind of learned from them. Even though Adam was kind of stuck in her head for a little bit as she was going through after she lost her arm, it was hard for Yang. But she figured it out and she got through it and she wanted to be there for Blake. She wants to be there for Blake. She's going to be there for Blake. Even though the beginning of the whole like volume. Let me go back to volume 4 real quick. With volume 4 and how things were, that after Blake left home, she was looking for Ruby. Yang has pretty much changed, and it has a huge development. Volume 4 was her big volume, a big moment where, you know, I don't know what you would call Yang before the end of Volume 3. I don't know what you would say. I don't know what word you could use to describe her. So, just Adam being dead is almost like she helped Blake with this whole goal of mine. She kind of got rid of this huge problem issue that's been tormenting the both of them. But now Blake and Yang have each other, and they're going to keep having each other. They're partners, they're friends, they, you know, the list goes on. I want to say Adam, he was heartbroken probably when Blake left him. But it doesn't excuse you from what you've done. I don't say I hate Adam. I'm not going to sit here and trash his character. Say, oh, he was a horrible player. He did all these bad things, but he was made as a character to do those bad things. He was the antagonist. He was just a bad person. He maybe was just trying to do the right thing in the beginning, just fell into this pit of darkness that he never got saved from. And there could have been a point where Blake was going down that same pit and hole. And she brought herself back out of it because she realized she didn't want to become Adam. Like Adam, or do the things that Adam does. So with Adam's death, it really does something to this series. We have this character who was a faunus, who summoned what could have happened, what happens to some people when the discrimination gets too far, when they're tired of it, they take action. And even though it's been 8 years since the human and faunus war, it doesn't mean it's only stopped faunus slavery. It didn't stop all the other things. Sorry, guys. I think I'm sick again, or it's just my allergies and asthma acting up, but so that was probably like it. I kind of like that Adam's dead, yet I'm going to miss him. But yeah, he served a purpose in the series. So I'm just gonna leave it there. So I probably will make a video in the future. I'm gonna make more videos about Adam, maybe in the future, and maybe Adam and Blake. I just kind of want to give you thoughts about what happened in this episode. Oh. Okay. So now moving on back to everyone else. Finding Canova. RWBY does this incredibly, stupidly dangerous start in the episode when she goes in the cannon. Finds that completely just destroys her aura while she's at it. She's that like aura shield that a lot of the RWBY characters have. It's broke. A lot of people, their aura is pretty much out, and they yet have to find a bunch of Grim. That's going to be fun to watch next episode. RWBY, just pop out your silver eyes. What you RWBY did, I just love how she when this little red ball broke petals and just went through the cannon and shot and just did. That's yeah. There's a moment with RWBY and Crow. It's more like RWBY's about to. It's after the plane crashes that Maria, Oscar, and RWBY were in. So, and then RWBY's gonna go to talk to Canova. It's about to do her little speech. Crow wants to stop RWBY from doing anything more stupid and what she already has done so far with this whole thing. She tells him, I need you to trust me, to Crow. Crow has his face like he's had every time that RWBY has said a line similar to that. It's like it reminds him of somebody. He sees Summer Rose. He doesn't see RWBY. He sees his dead teammate. He sees RWBY's mom. And it's a moment because Crow and we don't know what relationship Crow and Summer had. It was a very close friendship, and Crow clearly very deeply cared about Summer. I'm not going to pop up any strange theory, those Crow and Summer theories right now, okay? That's not the time and place. But it was such a moment in the episode. So he just looked at her, and it sounds like a line someone probably has told him. I need you to trust me. It doesn't seem like it's not the first time he's heard this. And not the first time he's heard Ruby talk the way, kind of like some same ideals Summer would have about something. You kind of notice those little things, and they're making it more noticeable now. Before it was just the little small facial expressions, the eye movement, the little things that you could connect the dots with. But now they're just making it big and more huge and more noticeable. And it's like, they want us to know that Crow's thinking about Summer in that moment, not Ruby. So that's another thing I'm going to say, probably next week's episode of RWBY, is that, I'm going to say it here too, is that I hope Volume 7 has Summer Rose, at least talk about it. I hope, at least at the end of the next episode, something is said about her. We still have nothing about her, and it's been 6 volumes. They're waiting for the perfect time, I think, to just say, do it next volume. All of us want to know. But I really just noticed that moment that don't stick out to me. And yeah, it was just, Ruby's speech to Carnova is just telling her, she's giving her a chance. She's like, we're sorry, we stole a ship, but this is your fault because you did not let us go through Atlas like we asked. We were trying to be nice. But nope, you forced us to do this. And Ruby's just protecting a speech about it. That's just, yep. I really liked this up, but my favorite part was the blinking gang scene. They're holding each other. I'm fangirling on Bumblebee right now. I love that ship. It's probably one of my favorites. It's up there. It's probably like it's like my top 3 favorite ships in RWBY. I have a lot of ships. So, yeah. This episode was really good. I really liked it. Especially for 13 minutes, they got a lot of stuff done. You killed Adam. Carnova's made stuff, but yet we're left with a giant grand monster and more grand they have to fight. And we all know next episode we might pop out the Silver Eyes again. Why do you have the feeling that Tyrion and Arthur Watts are going to be... They said they were going to Atlas. Hazel, I think, was going to go to Vacuum, maybe. Someone, one of them is going to pop up. Whether it's Cinder or even Neo, one of them is going to pop up. Next episode, and we'll have to deal with it. Of course, they're going to be all after Ruby. Oh, we want to kill you. Oh, we want to kidnap you. Which one do you want? We all know Cinder and Neo kind of teamed up and said, let's go kill Ruby. And then the rest of them are, let's kidnap Ruby. Because she has silver eyes and Sam wants her alive for some apparent reason. We do not know why. I'm guessing the silver eyes. I think it's because of the silver eyes. Or maybe it could be something else. But it has to do with silver eyes. Just ding. So, yeah, it's just this entire episode. There was a lot of action and fighting and all that. But the 2 big things I noticed, and probably my 2 favorite parts, was the Crow and Ruby scene, and Blake and Yang, just all over. For Crow, this volume he's remembering a lot of Summer through Ruby. I think before he saw Summer through Ruby, because it's her kid, but now it's almost like every time she says something, or every time she looks at him a certain way, he sees someone, he doesn't see his niece. He sees his deceased teammate, possibly someone he loved. I mean, love romantically and intimately. I do believe Crow was in love with Summer Rose, but never saying that because of his semblance causes bad luck and misfortune. Which I have a theory about that and why they probably would have never gotten together. It's because of this. I never really want to talk anything about Summer or Team Stark without knowing more, but you know what? We're not gonna exactly do that, is it? So yeah, this was a really great episode. I'm going to wrap up my video, so I really just wanted to spend this review talking about the whole Blanket Night thing. But yeah, and okay, so anyways guys, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit a thumbs up, and if you're new to it, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Yeah, subscribe for more content like this if you're new to the channel. So please hit the subscribe button. Please. And also, if I missed anything you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments, or just comment, tell me how you thought about the episode. I love seeing comments, reading them, I'll reply to them. So anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in my next video. But hopefully, if I'm not dying of just whatever's wrong with me right now. Bye.